We're coming to you live on WLID, 1190 AM in New York. We're streaming to you across the country on a number of platforms, including Facebook and NationalActionNetwork.net. We're live right here in the House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street. Across the country on a number of platforms, including Facebook and NationalActionNetwork.net. We're live right here in the House of Justice, 106 West 145th Street. Call somebody. Tell them the action is on the air. The Reverend Dr. Alan Sharpton is in the house and getting ready to come to you. We appreciate all of you who are joining us on this Saturday morning, because if it's Saturday, this is where the action is. We want to welcome all of you. We have a great program for you this morning. Our president and founder is the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton. The chairman of our board is the Reverend Dr. W. Franklin Richardson, senior pastor of Grace Baptist Church in Mount Vernon, New York. I'm attorney Michael Harding, and we will be with you throughout the broadcast this morning. We have a great program for you. We are so pleased to have with us this morning for our inspirational word, the Bishop Liston Page Jr. He's the senior pastor of the Highway Church in Paterson, New York. Of course, if it's Saturday, our musical director, Minister Tyrone Richardson, is in the house. And if it's Saturday, then you know our dear sister and leader here at the House of Justice, Katrina Jefferson, is going to come and ask, what's on your mind? That's right. We want to know what's on your mind, because you should be woke and you should be able to tell us, with all the things that are happening around you, in your community, in your city, in your state, and in your world, you should tell Katrina Jefferson what's on your mind. So we welcome all of you this morning for our program. Of course, the Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton is in the house and getting ready to come to you. So call somebody. Tell them the action is on the air. The Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton is in the house and getting ready to come to you. We're so pleased to have all of you with us on this Saturday morning. Of course, we always remind you to tune in to MSNBC Politics Nation with Al Sharpton every Saturday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Politics Nation, MSNBC, 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Politics Nation with Al Sharpton. We also welcome all of you who have tuned in and joined us via live stream at www.nationalactionnetwork.net and also live on Facebook at nationalactionnetwork.net. If this is your first time joining us, and or if you're not a member of National Action Network, we invite you to join and invite you to join us and get into the action today. For more information and to join, you may visit www.nationalactionnetwork.net, call 877-626-4651, or text the word NAN, N-A-N, to 59769. Welcome to all of you. Right now, brothers and sisters, the Minister, Stephen Marshall, co-liaison to the President of the New York chapter, will bring our anti-violence report.
Good morning, National Action Network. My brothers and sisters, it's yet another week we've made. Unfortunately, too many of us have perished in this gun violence. Submit to you today that it's my ultimate dream and desire to see that the city of New York or the city of Chicago, there were no shootings, no loss of life by way of gun violence. But sadly, that's not our present reality. Last weekend, over 60 people were shot and nearly a dozen dead in the city of Chicago. Right here at home in New York City, there's too many shootings to even recall. It's almost impossible to report them all this morning. This Tuesday, a 26-year-old man was found dead in a car from a gunshot wound to his head. Less than 90 minutes later, a 19-year-old man was shot in Brownsville section of Brooklyn. A few hours after that, the same neighborhood, a 33-year-old man was shot in the face. Brothers and sisters, we're living in a day and a time where we can only hope to make it home after we leave. Would you believe in the midst of a pandemic, over 50 people killed in the last 28 days? Since January 1st, brothers and sisters, 300 people killed and over 1,000 people shot in our city. There have been at least one murder a day in New York City since the beginning of the year. And lastly, I'll leave you with this. Houses of worship are the most sacred dwellings we have. Whether you believe in Islam and attend the mosque, or you believe in the Jewish faith and attend the synagogue, or even if you worship Buddha and attend the mausoleum, or like many of us who believe in Jesus and who are Christian and attend church, our difference and beliefs don't matter. We should all feel safe, if nowhere else, but the house of God. And so this week, regretfully, a churchman, a servant of the church, a caretaker, and one who upkeeps and preserves the physical well-being of the edifice, was gunned down in the very place we assume one would be safe from violence. 62-year-old Edward James was witnessed by many who described him as running for his life this week into the historic glorious Church of God in Christ in Bedford-Stuyvesant, where a man shot and killed him inside of the church. I've personally been to this church more times than I can remember. Murder in God's house. Brothers and sisters, do you know what kind of brokenness in your spirit that would allow you to pull the trigger of a gun in God's house? The love of the spirit of the man must be prepared. Pulling of a trigger is merely an action, one of great consequence. But the spirit of a man who has planned to pick up a gun, where the origin of spiritual warfare is, yes, we need laws and background checks, but we equally need the revival of the spirit of mankind. No justice.
All right. Thank you, Minister Marshall. And once again, brothers and sisters, you know, we want to know what's on your mind. So if you're not going to make it on time, you can email Katrina Jefferson at what's on your mind at nationalactionnetwork.net. Right now, brothers and sisters, as you all know, NAN is the house of justice where people in crisis come when they are in need. And the head of our crisis department, the Honorable William Allen, will come to you right now.
Why is it so quiet? Good morning, good morning, good morning. 877, good morning, family. 877-626-4651, 877-626-4651. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening on the air this morning. Crisis, we're getting stronger and stronger. And of course, I just want to now let you know that crisis, we now have regional liaisons because the amount of folks seeking help has grown tremendously. And the person that's actually helping to oversee liaison for the Northeast, which includes New York City, is Brenda Ricketts, who is here this morning. So I want to thank her for her tremendous work. She's helping to follow up on all the phone calls. She's going to be in touch with all our chapters in the Northeast, making sure that every single chapter has a crisis liaison and that they are checking in and looking at the cases that's coming in every week and making sure that people get an immediate response. Crises are in 4 steps. One step is that we refer people to legal counsel if they need it. The other step is to make sure that they know who their politicians are, federal, state, and local, just in case it's a government agency issue. The third step is to making sure that they know the clergy also in their community as a resource. And the fourth step is that it's chapter engagement. And the chapters serve as mentors of those in crisis. The chapters serve as mentors for those in crisis. So those are our steps, and we have some tremendous partners. And one of the members of our crisis advisory council is here, and she's just taking things by storm. Her group is called WARM. She's been working closely with us around domestic violence, and she wants to give an update this morning. Stephanie was wrong.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Stephanie McGraw. I'm the founder of WARM. home area that's bringing an end to domestic violence. I'd like to thank the Reverend Alan Sharpton and Nan, and I also would love to thank with everything Anthony, William, Allen. This team here is on the grounds, they're visible, they're out, they're making a difference. We are one of the crisis members. We are dealing with the uptick in domestic violence. And Maya Angelou once said, don't get angry, but don't get bitter. So this is what we have done with our anger. And to all the response of all the violence that's been happening in our community, we decided to take our anger and reinvent it and take it to the streets. I'm from the streets, I'm from Harlem, I got skin in the game, I'm here to make a difference. And if you're breathing and you're here in this moment, you have an obligation to make a difference in the universe. So what we decided to do is take love to the block. So we're taking over our blocks, block by block, with love. We're bringing black therapists, we're bringing doctors, we're bringing clergy, we're bringing yoga, we're bringing school supplies, we're bringing resources to our people, we're bringing voters' rights, we're bringing count, because you matter. If you don't count with these senses, then you will make a statement that I don't matter. So we're bringing these things to our community because we understand the wounds and the hurts of our community. So if you don't know how to come get it, we're bringing it to you. So Love on the Block, this is our second one. The first kickoff was 116th and Morningside because one of our members, one of our women that come to our agency to seek services, son was killed, murdered on that block on the 4th of July. So we gave birth to this. So we're going to blocks where it's a lot of wounds and hurt. This next Saturday, we want all involved. We will be on 131st between 7th and 8th Avenue. That's next Saturday from 12 to 5. We want everyone to come out. We got free food, we got Shake Shack, because we're not going and asking for more Mr. Hardy. We are demanding that you get back to this community what you have sucked out. So we want everybody to come get some food, get some activity, get some inspiration, get some connection, because we restore, rebuild, and reconnect women and people to their service. So thank you all. I have the flyers here. If you want to reach out to us, we at realreallymatter.org. And our email is realreallymatter@gmail.com. Our number is 646-488-0338. And again, I'd like to thank the Reverend Al Sharpton and Nan, and of course, William Allen, who's very close to our heart, when we do this intense trauma work and crisis work. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for that. And of course, one of the great doctors in the great village of Harlem is with us this morning, our dear sister, Jessie Fields. Become a member of NAN today, brothers and sisters. Membership is vital to the growth of our organization. It's members and supporters that keep NAN prospering so that we can reach the needs of the people we fight for every day. If you're not a member, please join today to help us continue to push forward in our commitment to fighting for justice for victims of police brutality, criminal justice reform, health care for all, protecting our voting rights, educational equality, and working diligently to ensure our communities have access to the medical facilities necessary in these times of crisis and pandemic. You can log on to our website at www.nationalactionnetwork.net to give and join the movement today. Right now, brothers and sisters, it's Saturday, and our musical director, Minister Tyrone Richardson, is announced.
If I can help somebody as I have pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or a song, if I can show somebody that's been traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian, Lord, if I can bring back beauty to a world abroad, if I can spread love's message as the master taught, oh, my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody and I pass along, oh, my living shall not be in That's our musical director, Minister Tyrone Richardson. Brothers and sisters, what's on your mind? Sister Katrina Jefferson, head of the House of Justice and also liaison to the President of National Action Network, is here to ask, what's on your mind? Katrina Jefferson.
Thank you, Attorney Hardy, and welcome everybody to another Saturday's conversation of What's on Your Mind, where you, the community, you, the membership base, you, the people, have the opportunity to interact and dialogue with the National Action Network and share with us your thoughts, your concerns, things that you thought about throughout the course of your week as you were going to and fro. And you can email us if you're not able to be here at whatsonyourmind@nationalactionnetwork.net. Again, that email address is whatsonyourmind@nationalactionnetwork.net, or you can give us a call at 877-626-4651. We'll take your feedback there. I'm receiving a couple of emails. I know we have one or two people in person, so we'll move as quickly as possible. First came from Ross Goldstein, sent an email in this week regarding how to increase voter turnout. I have an idea. I think if we could round up famous black sports or entertainers and send each of them on a separate bus to election districts who in the past have made it difficult for voters to vote on election day to pick up voters and bring them to the polls, we can get a great voter turnout. And that came in from Ross Goldstein. Second is an email from our member Valerie Ponder out of Brooklyn, New York, regarding the Commitment March 2020. Thank you, Reverend Sharpton, for allowing us to express what is on our minds. Good morning, man, family, and the entire listening audience. This is what is on my mind. The August 28th Commitment March, Get Your Knee Off Our Necks, was highly restored, definitely necessary, timely, and extremely well attended. I strongly believe now is also the time to continue to profit from the momentum of change and the higher awareness of racism being demonstrated by people across America by taking another approach. This fight has to continue to be fought on many fronts. It is spiritual warfare and must be addressed through prayer as well. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. It is time to set aside a time to call the clergy of the family of believers together to pray and do what God commands his people to do, as clearly stated in his word in 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and heal their land. God's word is true, specific, and is not a suggestion. We all know America one of our members in Brooklyn, New York. And we also have one of our members who has something to share. Please tell us your name and the city and state that you reside in.
My name is Brenda Ricketts. I'm from Yonkers, New York. What's on my mind is an article I read this morning in the Washington Post. The man in the White House has sent a memo to the Office of Budget Management requesting that they not fund any federal agency that teaches diversity. He wants to eliminate all diversity training because he believes racism doesn't exist, white supremacy doesn't exist. So I would like to ask everybody within the sound of my voice to vote. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. One more comment from our dear sister here. Please give us your name, tell us where you are from, and what's on your mind.
Hi, my name is Sarah Chizikoli, I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm one of the baby mothers. And what is on my mind is that I'm particularly upset of Trump's recent comments about people who are dying in wars and calling them losers. And I'm like, okay, that is very offensive because I'm pretty sure that everybody here has a member or a family or is a veteran themselves. And it's offensive. Why would you say they're losers? Like, we're fighting to keep this country together, and what you're doing right now with those comments is keeping us apart. Like, this is why we really need to vote, because if he can say something really obscure like that, then what's he saying about us?
Thank you so much for sharing that. That concludes this Saturday's segment of What's on Your Mind. Keep in mind, the thoughts and perspectives that you hear are just that. Thoughts and perspectives that do not reflect those of the National Action Network. And you can interact with us throughout the course of the week by emailing us at whatsonyourmind@nationalactionnetwork.net. Again, that email is whatsonyourmind@nationalactionnetwork.net. Or you may call us at 877-626-4651. Back to you, E. Gray, returning our.
All right, thank you so much, Katrina Jefferson, our national coordinator here at the House of Justice. Once again, it's Saturday, and once again, our musical director, Minister Tyrone Richardson.
Splendor of the King, oh majesty, let all the earth rejoice, let all the earth rejoice. He wraps himself in light, come shine to hide, trembles at his voice, trembles at his voice. How great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, sing how great is our God? Oh, how great is our God? Sing with me, how great is our God? Oh, sing how great is our God. Oh, you're the name above all names, and you're worthy of all praise. And our heart will sing how great is our God. You're the name above all names, and you're worthy of all praise. And my heart will sing how great is our God.
That's our musical director, Minister Tyrone Richardson. You're listening to the National Action Network Saturday Action Rally, coming to you live on WLIB 1190 AM in New York. We're streaming to you across the country on a number of platforms, including Facebook and nationalactionnetwork.net. Call somebody. Tell them the action is on the air. The Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton is in the house, on the deck, and getting ready to come to you. We'll take our break, and we'll be right back with our inspirational word from Bishop Liston Page Jr., Senior Pastor of the Highway Church